I'm just going to read 2 or 3 short poems, as Alistair said, from this selection I brought together, and the thought of calling it Incantations from Streams of Fire was more or less at the same moment as thinking of calling this evening's that same name. And it has, the first one has this sense of poetry like music, the founts of poetry and music are in magic. And that sense, the ancient, millennia-long shamanistic sense of drawing on fire, magic, flying to the celestial heights, burrowing into the depths, connecting with the hugest forces of the universe. It's the general mood that I hope this evening will bring us towards. And the first one is simply called Incantations from Streams of Fire. In rage and restless humour do I hold to the flaming wand of magic power, connecting like the god to thunderous arcs, flinging incantations from streams of fire into the vast spaces of the universe, emboldening the frozen black sky with fiery lights and jeweled glints of emotion and spiritual fire. And then also similar to it, just as it were, the infancy of the human race, or actually the vast majority of the history of the human race. So in the life of the individual, as many romantic poets have stressed and thought, it's as a child that the experience is most close to that, the sense of the intuitive understanding of mystery. So this poem is called As a Child. As a child, I entered the enchanted state of awe and wonder, streams of tears surging from within, like fountains of spiritual water into the naive brain, receiving the sight of trees, grass, the blue sky and the yellow sun, and the sound of twittering birds scraping holes in the familiar, allowing access to the infinite well of extreme beauty, miraculous, absolute joy, and the ecstasy of nature's unity, seething in truth and love. And then one more. Dream your spirit into any world you feel. Love and break free of all constraints. Be the flying spark at the core of your soul in spite of everything. Bang at the bars of your worst nightmares. Let time pass and smile like a wave of the crashing sea, serene and beautiful. So those are just by way of introduction. Now, I, with Ruth Strauss and Alistair Patterson, who I'm very grateful to for mucking in to help with this, are going to read this poem called Beneath the Fathom Line. This is actually one of the longest poems I've written. I wrote it some while ago, and it was the first time at that time that I had written such a long poem. Just a word or two, because I found that audiences like to hear the odd thing. You can't explain the poem, but a few sort of pegs, a few little pigeonholes help to make some sense of it. The right hemisphere, the intuitive, imaginative side, can't encompass everything all at once. The intellectual left brain needs to pigeonhole things a little bit to make any sense of it. And so this is for the left hemisphere. Is that right? The intellectual side. Yeah. The intellectual one, the cognitive, the rational one. The name of it came from a line of Shelley's poem called Epipsychidion, which means soul within the soul. And it was a line that when I first read it many years ago just struck me very strongly, because the line that goes is beneath the deep fathom line of thought and sense, way down beneath sensation, it's beneath thought, the level of the soul, or whatever word you want to find for it. And so it's like that in that it's a psychic voyage, an inner epic kind of voyage experience. Another sort of idea, just to help place it, because mainly, please just listen. It's music. If you don't understand a thing, it doesn't matter so long as you enjoy it. It's words as music. Well, all poetry is words as music, as resonations and associations of an intangible and irrational kind, and then meaning. Some kind of poetry is more or less one or the other. There is the meaning intellectual level in this, but it doesn't matter if you don't get it. That level of meaning does consist of ideas that I was very into at the time, of the need for rebirth, resuscitation of the human being, through reintegration of, I like the Jungian idea of the four functions, the sensual sensation on the one hand, the cognitive, intellectual, the rational on the other, the intuitive, imaginative, aesthetic on the other, and the spiritual, soul level on the other. These four aspects of what human beings can do with their psyches. The idea of integrating them, of honouring each of them, developing each of them, and integrating them into one. That comes about. It's also a sort of resonating with the inorganic nature and organic nature of the universe, striving to become one within it and with it, I suppose. It starts with a forest. A lot of it is forest. Perhaps that's a kind of resonation, the beginning of Dante's great poem, the Divine Comedy. It starts with hell and goes to purgatory and then to heaven. You may know that the beginning, the very first line is halfway through the journey of our life. I found myself in a large forest. Maybe that was somewhere in my mind, because it did seem a lot of squeaking, scrushing around in the forest in it. I don't know. But anyway, the main point I want to make is that these are sort of intellectual points. They don't really matter. It's the feeling and sound of it. And we're going to do it. I will just start it, and then Alistair will take it on, Ruth will take it on, I will take it back, and we're just going to read the whole of this poem. Is that okay? Right. That sound of the forest came and took me once again. And there was beauty of the frilling leaves. Have you seen the trees and leaves? Why did you not stream to love the leaves and trees? There in the hole, dark and wide, all could see the unexplained waste of existence. Where were you? Were you not watching, so to turn your soul to resuscitation? I would take you, but you will not go, to secret places among the dark brown bark of growing or dying trees, in woods where all is pressing, if the senses, those that operate below the line of grim normality, still can oscillate. Move between polar opposites and synthesize new endless wholes and feed upon the hymns of a difficult growth and fly deep high in the wilderness of unknowingness, where yet all is understood because it strikes the eyes and sense of the soul, the silent under-organ, always submerged beneath the flood of small great turnings, the tiny points of daylight reckonings above the high line of measurement in this course of time.
And here together we will graft our courage, thus to fight against all, and move in a motion to disturb all that clicks in futile fashion. We invite us to peer into this forest, where the owl keeps up its love lament. We cannot repeat it, but we know that if we follow it, we reach up to a mountain top, which is not high in the sense that we imagine is so measurable. We fly with wings 3/4 forgotten, and live with the strange, slow, dark chorale of that long poem uttered by the twigs, facing their long eternity, and the chirrups of wood-long insects crying their strained orchestral music. Strike, in resonance, ordered ecstasy, the warmth of this forest sanity.
Now and here, why are we like spacemen, dipping our ears into this well of truth, this pounding rain, wherein no normal growth protrudes, unless it wish to find out more, that it can cope to know? Now, brother and sister, now we cannot answer the call of you and I from hopeless depths of pleading. Each is a simple dog of the species. Yet I live in dark certainty that we have strayed so far beyond this world where we begin to tread, that I dare to soak slowly back into that pattern which is moved ever onward by the trees whose leaves and twigs shift the shafts of circulating light through the sense of existence.
This, the flick of light, is means for me or you to take the hand of the other and then to move in a way that is not thought, walk, because its rhythm is no sudden jump from the banging world of inversion. We can glide and trust our glances, coming from a mutual warmth, tapping the seeds beneath the surface from which the bushes grow. We must go, though slight and lightly, all of us, no matter who, for if we hear the same sound from the high treetops, no mad censure means beyond a ditch drop, as our pigments now are turning to a movement of the wind, where lives the perfect sound of the forest birds, and the underground griping grubs, and the worm that pushes its eating way, and the twist of that twig, ever witness to what we witness now.
Go on, not alone I know, although in the bark and wild moss it is not easy to recognize a mate of identifiable form. On no end, we storm upon the calm woods in interval of sun, yet they, like us, know their rain will smash upon the green yet again. And so, before we feel its breaking power, let us listen upon the narrow sound of the hummingbird, or the squawk of an awkward, long-beaked fowl, beautiful within the wheel of multi-layered living leaves in sun and water. Thus to understand the tiny block of sense in the captivated tower that is the psyche, left over from history's erosion, and seek to water it, as a rock of starved barnacles, long deprived of salt and movement in that world where all is colour, life, and sound.
Did you hear that cry? It was not the usual break of bricks or levers, failing to touch the sky. This was the cry no longer uttered loudly, so parched down time. When will the silent movement of the grub meet with the rumbling clouds, whose eyes trumpet with accord to buds that flower daily in the lower layers of the forest universe? The moment of the unison of beetle, wing, and sudden drop of dusk against the humus ground is not now, or then, or when the expectation of the feed is filled into the animal lurking in the trunk of time, waiting to its satiation, but when nothing watches. Then the sweet sound of the bird not yet a name, sweeps throughout the rage of greens, softening mixtures of passions, confused with approximations to understandings, dousing all in mists of invisible rainbow air that intensify the partial beams of light.
The how and asking why of this cruelty of interspersion of light, with the hard, tempting touch of dark, long, green, falling fern around our silence, denying even the sound of weeping through the creeping fear here, around there, from scratching bark and cracks goring from my nails to yours and back from the insect's carapace, turning in its crackled fall through crinkling leaves, goes brown and breaks, the time bores onward to the thick soup of a forest puddle through the fruit. Crawling stops the winds revolving, only through the chink at the tree's tops, in dry mouth, remember the love in yellow meadows, love the angel of sparking sap on thin leaves, long spokes intersecting lights, lingering, unperturbing wholeness. Love on the flavour of carpety flowers, purple complexity and dense colour, love that made the air the bucket that drenched your hair in oily lights and flashing streams.
My hands hoping with their knuckles motions, my bones and thought intensified in a certainty of the growing core, soft in yeast, a growth that always would be found at the end of feeling finger pads, not needing eyes, and then would drip back up the blood through every stream and cell of life. Yes, in the sky. That certainty was dropped in infinite nights of stars, unending spurts filling the stem's pressure. And so why would nothing stop that blood? Wasted, dripping blood, taken unwanted down the earth, undrunk by colouring flowers.
The petals are not even. See how you must move to make a perfect pattern appear from their thrusting growth. Impressing order from chaotic curling, only when you know to see the trickling of complicated inevitability, spontaneous to a form of beauty, deep to the shimmering soul. Then the warming seed drives sense to sniff the fragrance of swooning sweetness in mouth of melting crystal, pearled voice. Honey down the desert waddies packed, with writhing of the branches from the spine. Kidney rushes out in glacier flow. Voice of an air streaked with liquid invisible at light, full to drowning of a sound whose resonance reaches the inner understrata of the earth. Honey drops, they fly through your mind. Lemon flowers air the petals spin. Languid look the deep from green lakes, hummed by silent purring wings in sleep. Tunnel takes the roots and pulls its glow to the radius of darkest continents, where brown, moist growth wraps feelers, while the white revolving mind is flashed to the spheres of outward pull, dispersing without losing white intensity.
Indwelling from the founts of extreme spheres are flares from the night of kneeling soul. It once now rooted even tightness. End to the parasite scrunching of green, leaf water of life. the stealing of the sun from the sun's world, the dirty water smell of stagnating sucking, the blocking of flow as I grow upward, expansion to air for everything, all, equally and fully, an absolute of rising, unremitted flame. The dancing of the purest splash of light, bursting in a million billion stars, expands at a madness pace of light, slithering through words and piercing minds with ecstasy and majesty, and flowing of our wits' imagination. Broken plucks of the mind are the moods of science.
Our leaves are tired to hold it. Nestle it with the dew's love and spring, light in the morning, glistening clear. Our balcony's view spins its lamps over the universe made by our eye. History's creation, a telescope, opening within our emergence. We dazzle it with flashes from our own flames, buzzing retinas. We inject the final meaning, though deriving it from seeing how it moves and rolls. Onward process, redefining itself and its motion, growing out new forms. All blood becomes the earth which feeds the roots that grow to branches which, in miraculous transformation, burst a livid green upon the eager world edging on upon its rounds, till some quick, sharp points of colour splash their instants in the crash of life.
Which goes, at brown seats wait, eating the brown waiting earth, then roots suck, staunch guts, move giant slow steps. And the dawn raises dancing spate of scattered songs, melodian of infinite ordered chaos. Here, now, in spite of spikes of the ruthless universe in every branch end, though the beauty of perfect flower is buried in blood-pronging thorn, though, even then look through our closed eyelids at the rays of multitude, endless lines of light, mingling in the textured ocean of soft, foaming life and warmth. Even now, the rising touch pulls all of us along.
Lens that only focuses on a speck of the whole at a time, and makes it weave its prongs out to all, intertwining fibrils of each birth into a single fabric. It has come from the same coal that burns the inner furnaces of rock into the one exploding ball. Art, whose flame can cover all and bring the best germs to outward flourish, bending down its curved beams of roundest, rich perception, love. Throws ringed splashes, splendor into the wombs of immediacy. Now it must pull up an integration from the multi-spidering threads rife through all the bulk. Tendrils squeeze from every cord, brown tangles of rooted earth, rumbling through the infinitude of possibilities. And in this, the sparking mind from undug oceans of furrowed bottom must intervene to secrete the droplet oil needed. By the brown process, inimitable and unrestrainable, yet directable from the flash of oscillating prism that twists and recombines stars in universe of thought, erecting galaxies and seeing there run, understanding, white currents of running waves, all from a grain.
The trickling splash of upward mists takes steam blown from watered darkness, in rashes thrown from growth disturbed in hard dregs of worst memories in icy hell. If merciful, from common juice in poison, faces close in kissing softness, shaking off the death. Mercy, begged by every root in its breathing struggle, wrestle in from the loam of living data, differently scattered upon the cells of germination. As each little weaving knell strives unfolding where it can, giving off tiny flowers of ivy, or its crawl blesses small perfume, no matter how the dark. Strings ring something still of what it would, could, will, in an altered other context, bring to wide-eyed flower.
We can feel it with our bones, in hints, but they are lost when flushed by waves of a leaching purity that is ignorance and forgetfulness, dripping as if no thing had been before it came so down. Again and again, the unclean washing sweeps away eruptions, symptoms, thrusts in a swift erosion on the evidence that brings to the top of the castle such grim fear that the threat must instantly be purged from sense, memory, contemplation, hurled into an unthought well, there to turn around in unconstrained motion, surly, stunned, or leg limb chopped, slow, ungainly, reproducing its reappearance in shifts of time. Original, unique repetition of a cyclic motion hung to its root as long as the root is banished from inner and outer sight, from concrete worlds of stepped activity, from the focus of internal feelers upon the steps they spread. Some corns are endlessly thrust back to darkness, waiting in cold, cramped inches between cutting stones, and become bitter with crushed breathing.
Sharp, narrow as the asp, cutting themselves with their harsh groping at resistant clods that ignore their poison, not as their own sap, which is dulled forever into shriveled ends. Instead, there were a burning through the gloom that welts from suffocating clouds, a crystal in which radiates a total condensation, light at a pitch that overleaps the laws of hard combustion, consuming what it evaporates into utter purity. Fire that, though it cannot set light to the dense material surrounding it, yet averts its permanence through all transmutation and assures its aspiration, can never be forgot. Till time may come when a tiny spot rises with dew to the sun of the night, and spheres growing light and curving up to others, downward curling. So the center atoms of each may see through each other's circumference and grasp the real through unsolid points around which orbits go.